Okay, earlier in the lesson I showed you some examples of work by Murray and Bantjes. We're going to create a piece of work based on this during the next few lessons in order to introduce you to ways of working with Photoshop and to link in the idea of working in the style of an artist, which is one of the assessment requirements for GCSE. So we're going to start by opening a new page by going to File, New, and if we make this 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters, and you always have a 300 resolution, we'll leave a white background and RGB on the colour box. So I'll say OK. So on this box, the first thing I want you to create is a monogram of the GCSE lettering. So if we start by going to the T, and before we do that, just go to Window and open your layers box. You should have the layers box open at all times so you can see what's happening with the layers in your design. So on the T, you're going to click onto your screen. I've got this on 72 point and Myriad Pro Regular. That's a kind of fairly modern, stylish sans serif typeface. So you're going to start by putting a capital GC onto your screen with a finger on the shift button. You'll see that's come out onto layer 1. Go back to the movement tool and back to the text tool, and I want to create a separate layer with the S and the E on it. Okay, this is for making the initial monogram, which you will copy into multiple layers. So your first quick key that you're going to learn is a Command and T, and that you can use for changing the size and scale, and in this case for turning your lettering through 90 degrees. Okay, go back to your movement tool, apply or go on enter, and you're going to place one of those over the other. Now I want that to stay in that formation for several other things I'm going to do. So I'm going to merge those two layers. Click on the top one, press your shift button and hold it down, click on the bottom one, so both layers are grey and therefore selected, and go to layer and merge layers. Okay, that fixes those together so that you can move that around the screen independently. I've kept the background layer separate, and I like to work by having the background layer as a separate locked layer and then the pictures over the top. Now I think we'll save that as a single monogram because I can use it in other kind of formats. Before we do that, we'll just make it a weeny bit bigger. So again, Command T and use the shift button to keep it proportional. Okay, and I'm going to save that by going to File, Save As. I'm going to save it on the desktop and as a Photoshop file, so I keep my two layers separate, and I'll call it monogram. Okay, so I'll save that. Okay, now I want, for part of my design, several copies of that. Don't want to go through creating it several times, so I'm just going to use the Alt key. I've got a double arrow there, and I'm going to move that across, and you can increase the numbers of your selection as many times as you like from the last one you created. I'm going to merge those, so click on the top one, press my shift key, click on the bottom one and go back to layers, down to that bottom arrow and merge layers. That's got a row of 3 of the monograms. I want to replicate that several times, so again I'm going to use my Alt key, bring that down, and I'll see if I can fit one more onto the page. Yes, I can. So basically now I've got a block of 16 quite quickly. I'm going to merge those again. So click on the top one, press the shift and click on the bottom one. Go to layers, again merge layers. So I've got a block of 16 of those. I'll just move them to the middle. As you see, I'm moving all those together but without the background moving. And I'm going to save that as well. So File, Save As, Again, monogram, this time I'll call it 16. I'm going to save it again on the desktop and put it in the Photoshop file. Once you've saved things onto your desktop, like I'm doing today, you need to then drag them into your Apple Cart. Okay, so I've got a multiple set of monograms. I'd like that in a grey version and also in a colour version. So what I'll just do is show you how to do that. So first of all, I'm going to go to Image and Edit. I'm going to rasterize this. Okay, Layer. No, I can't rasterize this on Photoshop. So what I'll do instead is use the Magic Wand selection tool. Click on the grey. Use the Shift and go to Select and Similar. You'll see that selected all of my grey monograms. If I go into the colour bar here, I can make them black. Okay, so just then click on your paint box tool and just click that tip of an arrow into each one so that I've got a black version. Okay, these are all, say, selected together. So that's been quite quick to do. I'll deselect my selection by doing a Command and D, and I'm going to save that. So File, Save As, and monogram 16, I'll call it black. Save. Okay. Okay. Again, I might want that with quite a lot more of these monograms on. I want to go back to the movement tool. Again, Command T to select them all. I can change the scale on here. Okay, and then again using the Alt key, move that across. I forgot to apply it, so apply it with the Enter button. If you've not applied a movement, you'll find that you can't progress on. I can adjust that a little bit more finely by using my arrow key. So I'll move that one up a bit. And final one, and across to there. So again, just going to save all of those, click on the top, press the Shift button, click on the bottom, and merge your layers. Which I've lost on the bottom. Okay, and save that. File, Save As, Desktop, 32 I've got now, I think. Save. Okay, so those are saved to your desktop and you're going to come to use those later.